Welcome to Detroit, Michigan and Comerica Park, where today the Pirates conclude their home-and-home series against the Detroit Tigers. Bucks were whitewashed. Last night, Justin Verlander did the trick. The Pirates were beaten by the Tigers 10-0, and they need a win to win this four-game series. We take a look at the standings. Last night, the Cardinals, the only team in the division of meaning that won, and so the Pirates 3.5 back of the Cubs. They lost to the San Francisco Giants. The Cubs are off today. The other two teams are playing tonight. Greg Brown, Bob Walk, and Robbie Inspikowski with you. Well, Bob, Pirates turn to their ace today, Garrett Cole, to try and get this big series win.
Oh, he certainly has been pitching like an ace. He had the handful of games, maybe 4, where he was getting knocked around a little bit very early in the season. But since then, I mean, you look at those numbers, the ERA down in just inside the 2s. That's where you want your ace to be sitting all the time. And he's pitched very well in the daylight. I'm hoping today he goes out there and just totally shuts down these guys that really kind of put a little bit of an offensive show on in that game last night.
Yeah, meanwhile, the only guy that had any offense going for the Pirates was Josh Bell, as Justin Verlander did such a great job. Today, the Tigers turn to a young right-hander who's pitched a good bit of ball games in terms of relief work, but this his 3rd career start. We're talking about Drew Verhagen.
Well, this is a guy that, I don't want to, throw dirt on him or anything, but you look at he hasn't got very much experience up here with 50 innings over scattered over about 4 years. I would hope that the offense can do a good job and put up a lot of runs to support what we're hoping to get from Cole today.
We mentioned the Pirates offense basically consisted of Josh Bell last night. He answered the bell. We'll talk more about the Pirates rookie first baseman when we continue from Detroit. Back here in Detroit for the Pirates and the Tigers. A lot of Pirate fans on hand. Josh Bell, the current Pirates first baseman, was the DH last night. He'll be at first base today, and he has just had an outstanding rookie season. A pair of doubles last night from the cleanup spot.
Yeah, he really has been everything and more, I think, of what we were hoping for this year in that power and RBI department. Just really, truly taking that cleanup spot to heart and hitting like a cleanup hitter. Look at the RBIs, the OPS with all those extra base hits up there over 900 since July 5th, Independence Day. I mean, it's just, what more can you ask for a young rookie hitter than what he has done this year?
Well, hopefully he'll help the offense today. And we'll have the first pitch coming up shortly. But right now, back to the Pittsburgh studios, Rob King for a game break. Thank you. And his battery mate, Chris Stewart, ready to face these Detroit Tigers. But first, the Pirates hoping to strike first, as they were blanked 10-0 last night. We'll get to our RAV4 starting lineup for the Buccos. Starling Marte leads off. Adam Frazier, Andrew McCutchen follow. Josh Bell 2 for 4. A couple of doubles and a walk last night. David Freese will follow. He's at third base. Gregory Polanco bats sixth. Sean Rodriguez, another start. He's at second base. Shortstop is Jordy Mercer, and Chris Stewart will catch.
Verhagen's numbers in his short time up here, 9 innings of work, 4 home runs in those 9 innings. Likes to throw a lot of fastballs, mainly 2-seamers.
Tigers snapped a 4-game losing streak with that 10-0 shutout. Brad Ausmus's club now at 52-61. Gene Lamont is his bench coach. And the Tigers have been tremendous in terms of interleague play over the years. And we are underway with a foul ball. Starling Marte 0 for 3 last night, and he is 1 out of 11 in this series, the home and home series with the so-called natural rivals, the Tigers. And a fly ball to center. And Matuk makes the catch.
Good ballpark to pitch in. You can take advantage of those deep areas out in the outfield.
Ian Kinsler, Gold Glover last year. Our Honda defense has him at second with Miguel Cabrera at first. Jose Iglesias the shortstop. Nick Castellanos is at third. Justin Upton returns to the lineup in left. Mikey Matuk, Andrew Romine, the other outfielders. James McCann does the catching. For Drew Verhagen, not a rookie, but very inexperienced in terms of starts in the big leagues. His third major league start.
And his innings scattered, the 50 innings he has scattered over, what, 4 years?
Yeah.
Definitely a big guy.
6'6". Ball and 2 strikes on Adam Frazier, hitting .389 since the All-Star break. And lifts this one to left, sending Upton back toward the wall. And he cannot make the catch, so Frazier into second base with a double. And now he realizes he could have been at third base had he really been taking off, and he gets there anyway. He turned it into a little extra gear when he rounded second. And it's going to be a 1-out triple for Adam Frazier.
That ball hit off the bottom part of the wall, I think. It had to have hit something hard. No, it did come off the padding. I thought when it bounced that far back toward the infield, I thought it hit something harder than that, but that hit right off the padding. And look how far Upton has to chase it back, and that allowed Frazier to scoot to third.
Golden opportunity for the Pirates to get on the board as Frazier collects his third triple. Here's Andrew McCutchen acting as the DH today. Sun shining brightly.
That infield in on the grass right away in the first inning.
Pirates are looking for their first road win against an American League club this year. Look at the defense. You see the unique cutout, the home plate for instead of the dirt circle. The home plate cutout, and there's a strike, and now it's 1 ball and 1 strike on Andrew McCutchen.
I think it looks like a shovel.
The big shovel, yeah, with that line.
Yeah, it's like a shovel.
Yep, the cutout from the pitcher's mound to home plate. McCutchen has hit safely in 8 of his last 10. It's dangerous business for the Tigers facing Andrew McCutchen with the infield in. Is he even going to see a strike? 3-1. There's the other option, I guess, would be to have that infield back up. They are tight in on the grass as Garrett Cole hopes the Pirates get him an early run. Gets the strike call.
It went 3-1 breaking ball.
It is Los Diaz behind the plate. Larry Vanover, the crew chief, at first. There he is. Chad Fairchild at second. David Rackley is at third. Ripped into the seats. Foul. McCutchen 70 runs batted in. First time this season he is the designated hitter. Starling Marte moving to center field to give McCutchen some rest today. Checks and takes ball 4. And it brings up Josh Bell. We'll get to our Rivers Casino tips to win.
Well, I talked about the size of our Tiger pitcher and the fact that he is kind of uses the fastball. But his fastball velocity average is 93. It's not all that fast. So he throws a 2-seamer. He relies on movement, a little deception. You saw him throw a 3-1, 3-2 curveball. So he's more deceptive, kind of like a bobcat, not like a cheetah or a tiger. And no hair balls today.
What does that mean?
Well, we're going to take a lead late. He's going to pitch very well, Cole. So we're going to have a lead in that bullpen late in this ball game. We don't want to cough it up. No hair balls.
So there is your feline theme for the tips to win, as promised.
Promised that that's what we would do when we get to Tiger Town.
Did you let John Wayner in on your?
No. So he's over there wondering what in the heck.
And he's not happy about it. Ball 1 on Josh Bell. 59 ribbies. Hitting .339 in the month of August. Just talked about him moments ago in our open. And now it is ball 2. The infield looking for a double play ball. Good chance that Bell has seen Verhagen in the past. Verhagen the last 4 years has pitched parts of the seasons at AAA Toledo. That's going to be out of play. He started 2 games this year against Indianapolis, did Verhagen. April the 9th, 4 innings of work, 4 runs, 1 earned. And then 5 days later, picked up a win, 6 innings, 1 run, 3 hits. But nobody in the starting lineup, including Bell, has seen Verhagen this year. ...2012 4th-round pick out of Vanderbilt. With Michael Fulmer and Daniel Norris on the disabled list, it's maybe not quite desperation on the Tigers' part, but they've just got nobody else, so they call on Verhagen for a 2nd straight start. Concern with Andrew McCutchen.
I would think they'd want to keep that hole open on that side for Bell, but then if he does get to second base, you take the double play out of the equation. So there's a reason to stay put, and there's a reason to try and run.
Now it's 3-1, and one of the issues with Verhagen throughout his professional career has been trouble with the strike zone. That the last pitch was called a ball. And now 3-2. David Freese on deck for Josh Bell. He's drawn 44 walks. Has struck out 84 times. On base percentage is .329. McCutchen went on the pitch. It's a fly ball to Upton. He'll fire toward the plate. Frazier will score as the throw is off target, and it's a sacrifice fly for Josh Bell. That's RBI number 60 for the Pirates rookie in a 1-0 lead.
Yeah, it's too bad Kutch was running on that pitch. If he hadn't have been, he would have been able to tag up and go to second base on the rainbow home.
Another look at that rainbow throw toward McCann.
And there was never any fear whatsoever of that ball being cut off. It had to go all the way to the plate because of the trajectory it was coming in on.
David Freese takes ball one. Freese got last night off. 2 out of 7 in the series. Hitting over .350 the last couple of weeks. The Pirates leading 1-0 as Verhagen has walked a man. He now falls behind 2-0. Starling Marte drove Matuk back to the warning track to begin this ball game. Early on, it looks as though the Pirates are getting some good swings on Verhagen. His manager, Brad Ausmus, when he was called up earlier in the year, said, if you ask me, I think he's a reliever because I think his stuff plays to a reliever. And that'll be easy for Kinsler to retire Freese. This early advantage over the Tigers. From Comerica, we check out the Tigers lineup. Ian Kinsler, who had 3 hits last night. Mikey Matuk will follow. Then it's Justin Upton and Miguel Cabrera. Nick Castellanos, the third baseman. The switch-hitting veteran DH is Victor Martinez, 0 for his last 20 at-bats. James McCann, Andrew Romine, Jose Iglesias for Detroit.
Well, Cole's got his lead. And we saw earlier the great numbers he's had since early June. There's the numbers overall on the season.
It's his 4th career appearance against the Tigers. Second time he's pitched here in Detroit with the family. His dad, Mark, on hand. His father grew up Grand Rapids, Michigan. Still has relatives here in the Michigan area. Strike on Ian Kinsler. Quite a night last night for Kinsler. Got reported that the Tigers, according to Ken Rosenthal and others, placed him on revocable waivers. And that's not unusual.
No, everybody gets put on there.
Just about every player in baseball.
It's no big deal at all. I mean, That comes with territory being a Major League Baseball player. You go on revocable waivers every year.
Now the question is, does someone claim him? If so, do the Tigers work out a deal with that team?
And if he doesn't get claimed, then they can work out a deal with any team.
Go through that process. It's a flurry of activity occurring really throughout the month of August. Jay Bruce just got dealt last night from the Mets to the Indians.
And was that a waiver deal? Did he go unclaimed?
Didn't see what the final verdict was on that. The Pirates have both cases, Sean Rodriguez and George Cantos, in that regard. We check out the Pirates defensively. Starling Marte in center, flanked by Adam Frazier and Gregory Polanco. David Freese, Jordy Mercer on the left side. There is Sean Rod at second, Josh Bell at first, and Chris Stewart does the catching. And it's Mikey Matuk, who was 2 for 5 last night. And for Ivan Nova, not certainly his best start.
It went from quality start to a very, very bad start.
A ground single up the middle.
Had his 6 innings, his 3 runs, which is nowadays considered a quality start. But to be honest with you, he really kind of had to fight through those 6 innings, gave up those 3 runs early on, and he was giving up a lot of hits last night.
And he's certainly tired late. You can see that.
Not the usual soft contact, but there was a lot of hard contact on him last night. I was looking, I don't know, maybe you guys had a better look at it here being on TV, but it didn't look like he was necessarily throwing balls just right down the middle either.
Right.
I thought some of the hits were on pitches that were situated right on the edges of the strike zone.
And it was a little bit odd to see him out there tiring later in that final inning. Back-to-back walks, then a hit batter, and Clint Hurdle tried to explain after the game why he left him in so long. Hurdle said he may have asked Nova to do something that maybe he didn't have the weaponry to do at that particular point in time based on pitch count. And then to quote Hurdle, or I don't know if I'd have had a fist fight if I'd have gone and taken him out. It wasn't about all that. It was just about giving him a chance to get out of it. With him, it's not about numbers. It's about the touch and feel. Now Upton at the plate with Matuk, having stolen 2 bases in 2 tries. So Ivan Nova gives up the 6 runs and 6 1/3 on 10 hits. And 1 and 2 on Upton. Cole looking for win number 10. Showed you the good numbers since early June with Cole. Pirates winning the first 2 games of this home and home series at PNC Park by scores of 3-0 and 6-3, and then falling to the Tigers 10-0 last night. It would stand to reason that teams would try to run on Cole. That is one area of his game that he's really not been able to improve upon. This year, 12 out of 13 have stolen against him, and Stewart has done a good job behind the plate, throwing out 35% of the runners. But over the last 2 years, opponents have stolen 30 out of 33 with Cole on the hill. And he gets the strikeout of Upton.
Yeah, like that last delivery, you could see that he's sped things up a little bit. It's not like he's a snail getting the ball to the plate. Look at that very abbreviated leg kick. It is kind of strange that he has been victimized like that. But I mean, he always hasn't been that quick to the plate either. He has tried to make some changes, and when he knows it's a running type situation.
Now it's Cole versus Cabrera. The smile returned to Cabrera's face last night with 2 hits and reaching base 3 times. This 34-year-old from Venezuela has been a little bit grumpier than we're used to seeing.
He's grumpy in that first at bat.
He was really not happy with the first plate umpire, David Rackley.
First pitch you saw of the game. They had a long talk about it. I don't know if you noticed what Cervelli did. Cervelli left the area.
I did see that.
Just to like, yeah, go ahead. You guys have a discussion. Maybe we won't have to deal with you the whole night.
He walked out in front of the onto the grass area in front of home plate. And another hit for Cabrera. Puts runners at first and second. Might be a good time to be getting out of Detroit.
Wow,
95,
far inside that. Yeah, look at the run that ball had. It ball is coming in at him at 95. Good movement in off the plate. I mean, it's not like he laced a double or anything, but he did get decent wood on it. Line drive out to center. That's where you're trying to throw the ball. You're trying to get that jam shot, break the bat.
RBI man last night, Nick Castellanos, drove in 5. One of his big hits for Castellanos was the bases loaded triple in the 7th inning, and Major League Leaders brought to you by Barrel. He's tops in the American League, 3rd in baseball behind Charlie Blackmon and Billy Hamilton. Pokes that one toward the seats. Bell gives chase.
I think that's such an odd stat there when you look at the ballparks. I mean, this place in Colorado, definitely big time triple. You know, so deep out in center, right center. But there's 2 guys on the list playing Cincinnati, one of the smaller ballparks. Now, one of those guys is Billy Hamilton. You could get a triple in a matchbox, but I just thought that was kind of odd. You'd have that mix of ballparks, the 4 leaders.
0-2 count on Castellanos. Mott took it second, Cabrera at first. Castellanos now with 63 runs batted in. Matched his career high last night with the 5 RBIs, 4th time in his career. A little pop up. And that is a fair ball. 1 in. And here comes Cabrera. And he's in there.
And Cabrera stopped after he went around 3rd base and was still able to score.
Dave Clark had the stop sign up. 2-1 Detroit.
Another good pitch in on the hands. Just a little parachute drop that hits right on the chalk line. It looked like Bell wanted a foul ball call there. But Cabrera just kind of jogging into 3rd. And then he didn't come to a full stop. But he's not the fastest cat out there in that Tiger uniforms. But he made it work.
Another triple for Castellanos and a trip to the mound for Ray Searage.
A little bad luck there for Cole. So Cabrera needs a little oxygen. Breathing heavy. When's the last time Cabrera scored from first base? Probably the last time he hit a home run.
A strike on Victor Martinez. Well, a 1-out ground single up the middle by Matuk. And after Upton struck out, Cabrera lined that single at 95-mile-per-hour fastball that was in off the plate, and then the pop-up that hugged the line for a triple. And here's a pop-up to end the inning. But the Tigers now lead it. Nick Castellanos, another triple, 2-1 Detroit.
Baseball on AT&T Sportsnet is brought to you by Allegheny Health Network, the largest health system rated #1 in the region for all the things that matter most. And by Kenny Ross Subaru, Total Confidence Pricing. Let's go Bucks!
2-1 Detroit. Tigers clawing their way back. An early deficit. Justin Verlander last night, 8 innings to get the win. Drew Verhagen today has given up the 1 run.
Well, let's just hope that Verhagen is not Verlander. That he's a Bobcat, not a Tiger.
That's right. Bucks need to get Gregory Polanco back into the hitting groove. He is just 2 for his last 22. Polanco, Rodriguez, and Mercer here. Shatters the bat. Still 0-2. And he goes the other way. That was nice. Hugging the line. He should have an easy double. And he will.
A nice job of hitting it where it's pitched. That ball down and away from him. Went out there, made good contact, trying to hit the ball the other way. A nice 2-strike approach.
And you see that Castellanos well off the line. It's easily past him. So lead off double. And now Sean Rodriguez. Third start in 5 days for Sean Rodriguez. Since his arrival on Sunday, when he entered the game in a double switch, went in to play second, finished the game at first base, and homered to win it against the Padres. Then started at shortstop on Monday, started in right field on Tuesday, and here he is at second base today. Two for 9 with the Pirates this second go around. Overall 174 for Sean Rodriguez. Acquired Saturday night in a deal for minor league infielder Connor Joe. No swing, says Larry Vanover.
Took a while to make that call, to get him to ask. Takes that long, don't even bother.
Now 3-1.
If the umpire will ask right away, you got a shot at it. If it takes a long time to get him to agree to ask,
no chance.
No, you're not going to get a swing call. Not going to happen.
And to right center field. Sean Rodriguez is going to tie this ball game. He's 3 for 10. And what an addition. Obviously Clint Hurdle likes having Sean Rodriguez on this team, having started him now the third time in 5 days.
He did the same thing really that I praised Polanco for doing, and going with the pitch, not trying to do too much with it. He got one up and away, so he goes with it out toward right center to knock in the run. I know that wasn't a blooper or a seeing eye ground ball or anything like that, but he could be pointing at his helmet right now saying smart hitting.
Yeah.
That is smart hitting right there. Taking what that pitcher will give to you. Big slow hook.
Verhagen's first start last time out was against Baltimore, and he went 5 innings, 74 pitches. Well, you know that the Tigers' Brad Ausmus will be watching that. Andrew Romine will make the catch. Rodriguez draws a throw, 1 out. A week from this Saturday, the Pirates will be playing the Cardinals. It's a 4:05 start, and the first 20,000 fans coming out to PNC Park. We'll get a Gregory Polanco El Cafe bobblehead thanks to Dunkin' Donuts. Go to pirates.com/bobbleheads. Get your tickets for the Pirates and the Cardinals Saturday, August the 19th. That's a 4:05 start. Polanco doubled to start this inning and scored on the Rodriguez RBI single. There goes Sean Rod. Hit and run on. Chris Stewart was a pinch hitter in the 9th inning last night and singled. He had been 0 for 18 before that base hit. .180 hitter for the season. Couple of strikes now on Stewart. With Marte to follow. Stewart does not offer at that pitch from Verhagen. "59 innings in his big league career, 26 walks, 31 strikeouts. And on the infield for Kinsler. 2-8 brings up Marte. Verhagen from Royce City, Texas, 6'6", 230. Again, a fourth rounder out of Vanderbilt in 2012. Up and down the Tigers and their minor league affiliates in the last 4 seasons. Had been a starter to begin his professional career and then converted to the bullpen in 2015 and went back to the minors and started again this season. 19 starts at AAA with a 4.90 ERA for the Mud Hens. And he almost picked off Sean Rodriguez.
Had him picked off, but they just didn't tag him in time. You watch the movement towards second base, you could see that he was picked off. Oh, it looks like they tagged him in time also. See that flinch towards second?
Allegheny Health Network Supermo. Question of whether they will challenge or not. And the crew chief Larry Vanover starts to march toward the dugout, say, come on, okay, we're going to challenge. He and Las Diaz will grab the headsets and communicate with the umpires in New York.
You know, that was probably over 30 seconds, don't you think, Rick?
Yes, I do think.
So when it's over 30 seconds, say it's somebody gets 32 seconds and they say they want to challenge, can't you just say no, it's too late?
You're supposed to. I don't think that's I think it's a hard.
Oh, so that's.
I think it's a hard rule, but I didn't see any umpire with a stopwatch either, though. So I don't know how.
Well, isn't there a clock that's ticking somewhere around
maybe.
here?
And
but I mean, if they would enforce that rule,
yeah, exactly.
I mean, we got a runner at first and Marte hitting.
That's right, exactly.
Plain or protest?
Not a bad idea. Sean Rodriguez driving in the tying run and then picked off first. Point Park University tweet. Dan Jenna's last chemo. Goodbye Hodgkin's lymphoma. That's great stuff there. Big Pirates fan. Dan Jenna, thanks for that photo there, Julie, and congrats to Dan. James McCann takes ball 1. McCann, Andrew Romine, Jose Iglesias facing Garrett Cole in the bottom of the 2nd. McCann, a pinch hitter last night and singled. Three and 2, the big swing.
I'd like to see Garrett start getting some quicker outs early on in this game. Seems to be with the 3 hits he gave up. Pitch count up to 27 now. And there's nobody out in the 2nd. So needs some efficiency here. Getting ready to throw 8 pitches now to McCann.
Jammed him with a high and tight fastball. Joaquin Benoit will be in the bullpen. Fly ball to Polanco. First out here in the bottom of the 2nd.
Took him 10 pitches to get that first out.
I was just looking up, Bob, during the break that in early June, in a game the Tigers had against the White Sox, Ausmus got ejected from a ball game because the home plate umpire enforced that rule. And Manny Gonzalez was the home plate umpire, and the 30-second clock had expired, and he said you can't challenge anymore, so he came out and argued, was ejected.
What should have happened there, don't you think?
Yeah, but again, it goes back to that enforcement. Some umpires apparently do, some don't. It's a suggestion, I guess. And that is a foul ball, close to what we saw in the 1st inning on the Castellanos fly ball to right that hugged the line and went for a 2-run triple.
Awfully close to hitting the line. There you go, son.
Finish off the hot dog. 0-2 count. That's a ball and 2 strikes on Andrew Romine. Yes, he did, according to Las Diaz. And that's the second strikeout for Cole. Cole has struck out 127 in his 142 innings. And now he'll face Jose Iglesias. Tigers shortstop was 0 for 4 last night as he returned after missing 2 games. Was on the bereavement list, a death in the family, and he missed the 2 games in Pittsburgh. Probably a little tough for Garrett Cole today. His grandmother Esther passed away May of last year, very close to his grandmother, who got a chance to see him pitch for the very first time in the big leagues a couple years ago when he was matched up against Justin Verlander. Pitched a good ball game in front of family and friends. And he gets Iglesias, and Stewart throws to first to complete that strikeout. 1, 2, 3 for Garrett Cole. Through 2. Tied at 2.
Comerica Park. I'm Robbie. It's Mikowski. Well, former Tiger and Pirate Donnie Kelly, who's a Pittsburgh native, retired after a 9-year career from baseball and is still staying in the game. And recently, he discussed what's been going on with him.
I think that anybody that plays the game, you love the game, you miss playing. I obviously miss playing, miss the camaraderie of the guys and just hanging out and going out and there competing with them. But to still stay involved, especially to be able to be on the field in uniform with the guys, still be around, also be in scouting, just it's been a great experience for me so far.
Donnie Kelly's official title is Pro Scout and Assistant to Player Development. Works for the Detroit Tigers, the Mount Lebanon and Point Park University product. Finished a 9-year career last year with the Miami Marlins, Greg, and he debuted back in 2007 with the Pirates before he came to Detroit, where he played 6 years and every single position, including pitcher and catcher. In the first 2 games of this 4-game set against the Tigers, Donnie was sitting behind home plate doing his normal scouting duties. So good to see him staying in the game, Greg.
I'll say one of the all-time great guys. Neil Walker's brother-in-law, Point Park product, Donnie Kelly. General manager of the Tigers, Al Avila.
Donnie Kelly, one of those Jim Leland favorites.
Yep. Watch that chair, mister.
Yeah,
Actually, goes by.
that chair can go back. Be careful.
Al Avila, his son Al Avila. And this is going to be extra bases for Starling Marte, and booted by Upton. And Marte decides not to try it.
Didn't he just trade his son?
He did. A couple weeks ago to the Cubs.
Trade your son like that.
It's a business. not personal, just business. Leadoff double for Marte. Here is Adam Frazier, who tripled in the first. Popped up toward Upton. Let's go back downstairs to Robbie.
Yeah, so you guys talking about Alex Avila trading, or Al Avila trading his son Alex, and Alex is actually okay with it, but Al's wife not so much. You see, because Alex has 2 daughters under 5 years of age, and Grandma wants to see her grandkids. But he didn't trade him too far away. Chicago's only about 4.5 hours here from Detroit. Not too far. It's not like you sent him to the West Coast. And now certainly going to be some interesting dinner table talk, let's say over Thanksgiving and Christmas. But at least Al gave Alex a heads up that, hey, this might be happening. So father and son okay with it. Mother, husband and wife, not so much, Greg.
And the son had signed as a free agent to go to Chicago as a member of the White Sox last year. So re-signed over this past winter to return to Detroit. But Dad doing what's best for the team.
I could see where Mom would be upset, though.
Yeah.
With grandkids involved.
Yeah.
That would be a little on the tough side.
McCutchen walked in the first. No throw over to second. Andrew McCutchen drove in 79 runs all of last year, and he is at the 70 RBI mark right now. He hit 24 home runs last season. He's hit 23 this year. A lot of concern with Marte at second. Drew Verhagen and the Tigers. 1 year ago today. Look at that. Pretty incredible, this turnaround.
You can see how hot he got at the end of the year.
Yeah.
To get to those numbers you were just giving.
Strong August and September. But that did not carry over into April and most of May this year. Ball and 2 strikes. There goes Marte, and it's grounded to short. So 2 down. Verhagen will face Josh Bell. Picked up sacrifice fly RBI in the first.
Got a long ball here from Bell. I'd like to see him get up to that 20 home run mark. Nice round number. Let's do it now. Then we'll start looking at 25.
How about doing it
now?
Right now? Yes. Clear the deck. Cannonball coming. There is the 20 home run mark.
Doesn't that look a lot better?
It does.
Okay.
And he has driven in 3, and the Pirates take a 4-2 lead. 20 home runs for the rookie Josh Bell.
How many? It'd be interesting to compare Bell's number to Jason Bay when he won Rookie of the Year with us. Don't you think?
Well, he knew it right away. Yeah. Well, we've talked about it a couple weeks ago,
okay.
but not in the last couple weeks in terms of where Bell is, right now compared to where Bay was on this date.
But I want to know, I was just curious what Bay's final numbers were that year. Like what would be some nice targets. And now I know that the Rookie of the Year this year is going to be extremely tough to get to.
The award, that's likely Cody Bellinger.
Yeah, Bellinger's got a pretty good grip on it right now. I mean, stranger things have happened, but still, what a rookie year that Bell is putting up. Just awesome stuff.
It was a 26 homer, 82 RBI season for Jason Bay in 2004.
I would think that Bell will pass those marks at least by a little bit, don't you?
You'd think certainly has a shot at it.
Yeah, well, we need 7 more home runs. He could do it.
21 more RBIs.
He's going to hit 3 more home runs on this road trip alone.
Chopper to third.
Safe.
And a close play. Yeah, safe. We don't see many infield hits from David Freese. We'll get one there. Well, start the clock.
Oh, I started it.
You did?
Yeah. I started it way late, but I started it. They're going to look.
I think they know how much time expired that last time.
They know I got the clock on them this time. Well, I started the clock real late, and they were at 19, so they probably took maybe 25 of their 30 seconds to maybe even all full 30. That was probably 10 seconds late getting the clock going. I had it all set up, and then I ended up looking up something else.
It wouldn't be a bad idea if they have a 30-second clock in the ballpark. Start thinking about a 30-second clock right on the screen. That'd be something, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Right, maybe by the lowdown.
By the lowdown.
Get Jason Steele on that. Maybe Becky can take care of that this week, huh? Safe. So they lose their challenge. I think they were definitely convinced because
I can put my clock away now, can't I? Can't challenge anymore.
For them.
We're pretty quick at that. See, that view is inconclusive because you can't see his foot. Oh, he's safe, easy. What were they looking at? Don't you think? His foot's right down on the back. Now the other view, the one from center field, you can't see Freese's foot. It's blocked by the big cat.
The big cat.
Cabrera is the big cat.
Rich Doobie went out there to talk with Verhagen.
I wonder what would happen if the crew chief had a headset on and this guy goes, yeah, and then turns around and calls whatever he wants. What could New York do about it?
Not a thing, because they're probably not locked in.
There's nothing they can do.
Yeah. They could just watch it and go, wait a minute. They're watching on a monitor in New York.
Now, what umpire would you pick to do that?
We know. Polanco doubled in the second. Doubled to left. Now, when he was going good, I know you've talked to Branson, his hitting coach, Jeff Branson, about they want him to be more handsy.
Yeah, use his hands more, way less body.
That was what we saw that last at bat. Use the hands, the wrists.
Keep the body quiet. Put the the bottom half, upper half, everything. And just use the hands more. It's something neat. I mean, this is not rocket science. Something that everybody needs to do. And you with Kutch. I mean, what was the big thing? It was all about the upper body. The rotation was way too fast, way too much. He was pulling the ball all the time with his body rotation, not with his hands. And they want hitters to hit more with their hands, especially guys that have that natural arm hand strength anyway, where they get the bat speed. They don't need to get all that body into it.
When players get away from it, a particular guy like Polanco, they fall into the other habit. Is it because they're trying to get lift and drive?
Yeah, you're trying to drive the ball into the gap, over the fence, and you're just using all the way down to your toes, everything you got.
Well, Pirates with 6 hits, 4 of them for extra bases this afternoon, including the Bell home run.
From a pitching standpoint, it'd be like a pitcher always trying to muscle up on a fastball.
Well, Polanco goes down on strikes, but a Marte double and a 2-out home run for Josh Bell, number 20. Bob didn't want him to wait, so get it done now to 20, and he did.
We'll be talking about 25 now for a while.
UPMC scoreboard 4-2. The Pirates lead the Tigers.
Who is that?
It's that robot cop, whatever they.
RoboCop?
Is that his name? RoboCop?
Oh, yeah. Well, how about that voice we just heard, though, Bob?
I don't know who that is. I've heard it before, though.
The Hall of Famer.
Very familiar.
Our buddy Doc, Mike Emmerich. And he's here taking in the ball game as a fan. His neighbor is here. How far away do you live from here, Doc?
About 45 miles. I have absolutely no excuse for not coming last night. I'm glad I picked this one.
Yeah, we are too.
You picked the right one to come to.
I guess so. I missed the home run. I guess it was gargantuan, huh?
Yeah, it went 20 rows up, way out of here. I mean, it's Bell, when he gets into one, he can hit him as far as anybody.
When they first opened this, yes. You did, didn't you?
Bob called it.
Yeah.
But he does it all the time. He's an uncanny knack, Doc, for making these predictions.
It wasn't I didn't call. I didn't say he's going to hit a home run. I requested him to hit a home run, and he did. I said, "Be nice if he'd hit a home run right here. I'd like to see him get number 20. It's a nice round number. I'm tired of looking at the 19." And boom, 20. There it was. But He's probably going to get up there, I would think, in the upper 20s before we're all said and done. Still a lot of baseball to be played. It's a phenomenal first year. Gets ready to put the leather around that one.
A lot of 94s today from Cole.
Yeah, he's
First one was 94.
like him to be a little more efficient. He's had some long at bats with a few people, and the pitch count. You know, I want him to pitch a long time today. I'm hoping that we keep increasing this lead and win a comfortable game, kind of like what they did yesterday, and have Cole out there for a while.
Well, as a hockey guy now, I like fans. And this guy's a fan of the two-time Stanley Cup champions.
Oh, is he?
And as a fan of the Pirates, I lobby to see this guy around a long time because he supports the hockey team and because he throws strikes.
And he's a very good starting pitcher. I mean, that's a great reason, too. Those are difficult to come by.
See, 33 strikes to 9 today.
Yeah.
That's you call those ratios, do you, Robert?
No, I just call it 33 strikes to 9. That's kind of my style.
Out toward left center.
It's 34 strikes now.
Boy. Mikey Matuk, his 7th, a line drive home run, and it's a 4-3 game. That is the 23rd Cole has given up this year, which is among the league leaders. I guess you throw a lot of strikes.
Well, that's one of the things that goes along with it. And he does pound that strike zone. And, you know, I don't understand why there's that many, though. Here, this is right down the middle, and took advantage of it and pounds it out of here. But, yeah, you would think with as good as stuff, I'm not just talking about how hard he throws, but the other stuff, too, that he would get away with more down the middle pitches than he does, like that last one. But this year, for some reason, when he does make a mistake and he gets in the middle of that plate, it's been hit hard. But that doesn't change what we were talking about. He is a quality elite type pitcher, and they're very hard to find.
That's nice. Justin Upton calls time, doesn't get it, steps back, and it's a strike, a freebie. But he is a hockey fanatic. Neil Walker, he said, kind of introduced him to the game and the Penguins, and then he kind of led the forces into the arena during, well, there's a close foul ball there, but during the Stanley Cup playoffs. Cole and a lot of his teammates were there. Doc, what a run. What a lot of fun, wasn't it?
Yeah, and not to wobble your wheels off the tracks here, which usually happens when you invite me on, but I loved the whole telecast the night that Sid threw the strike, and the night that you showed the video of the Stanley Cup and Marc-Andre comparing masks with Francisco Cervelli. Yes. I always thought Francisco was a hockey guy, even though he may have denied it at one time. He always struck me as an emotional kind of hockey guy. And the same for Sean, and I'm so glad Sean's back. And what a way to finish that game.
Oh, just off the glove. Upton will get a base hit off of Josh Bell's glove. Yeah, did you see the game on Sunday with Sean Rodriguez?
Yes.
Is that,
yeah, I did.
What a story.
Wasn't it?
I still can't believe it. Bob and I talked about this yesterday, Doc, that when you think about this guy's story, even before he became a free agent this year, but you know, he has basically a career year last year with Pittsburgh. Pirates were hoping to bring him back, didn't. Braves, because the Braves offered him a chance to play every day at second base.
Right.
And then he and his wife and 2 of their 4 children nearly killed in that car wreck. Somebody steals a police cruiser, rams it into their SUV. The police cruiser explodes into flames. That person dies. They're all rushed to the hospital. Sean's wife suffers many broken bones. He tears up his left shoulder. The doctors all say he's done for the year. He says, "Don't count me out." He comes back quicker than anybody imagines. And then, lo and behold, the Pirates trade for him. And his first game, he gets to the ballpark an hour before game time on Sunday. Comes to the ball game, part of a double switch, second at bat, bang, home run.
in the game.
It's the
I mean, just it is storybook.
It's why you love sports.
That's right. That's exactly right.
It's why we like getting in free, and why and why when we don't get in free, we pay the price of admission, like my neighbor did today, and we paid and we got in, and we love what we're seeing so far.
It's why we see Doc in Bradenton.
Your neighbor loves sports.
He does.
He was telling me he's got, the Lions season tickets, the Red Wings season ticket. He goes to everything.
There is no greater sports fan. And this will sound cruel and demeaning. There is no greater sports fan than a guy that's had Lions season tickets for 50 years. Because he has suffered some.
Yes, he has.
He has suffered mightily, but he still remembers the '57 championship. So I guess he's okay.
I think between then and now, they've won maybe one playoff game ever.
That's right.
You're right.
Like
they've had some decent teams, but they don't seem to do too well in the postseason.
No, they don't.
Well, there's this year coming up.
They play right
next door.
Across the street. Yep.
And the Red Wings are opening a new place just the other side of this, and so they will be sharing parking facilities.
Oh man.
There is the potential of 4 games being played by professional teams if this team ever winds up playing in the World Series.
Can you imagine that?
You could have the Pistons starting their regular season, the Red Wings in their regular season, the Lions playing a game at Ford Field, and these guys in the World Series. You could have a game being played on the same weekend by all 4 teams.
Oh, gosh.
And all sharing parking. Now, I don't want to be in charge of that, but it could all happen here.
You can see the downtown area starting to come back a little bit from when we first got here years ago.
Wild pitch has Upton now at second.
See, I have gotten us off the tracks. You go ahead and call the game.
Oh, no.
It's
we can
TV.
see it.
They can see it.
The great thing about TV. Yeah. But we do want to ask you about Edso. Now, you talked to him. He sounds good.
Yes. As a matter of fact, I did talk to him this morning. And let me just tell you.
Great.
Because let's see, you don't need horse pictures, do you? I shouldn't show you those. That was from
Edso.
Those are from the barn last night. These are reports on races today. Thanks. I am feeling better. I'll be watching the show between horse races this afternoon.
Oh, no. So if he's watching between races, we wish you the best, Edso. And we'll be back with the great Doc Emmerich, the Pirates leading the Detroit Tigers 4-3. The night Sidney Crosby threw out the ceremonial first pitch. The cup made its way into PNC Park and delivered a strike.
And that was the plate umpire for the game.
Jerry Meals, yes, who was as excited as anybody to be able to do that. What a night at PNC Park. And
were you aware there were wagers on his team against him throwing a strike?
Well, I think we had Ian Cole in the booth that night for an inning, and he told us that they were all placing wagers.
I would have bet against it. I know how hard that is.
Yeah.
I definitely would have said, no, you can't. There's no chance.
They said he was determined to throw a strike, and boy, he did.
He was back to the rubber, too. It wasn't like front of the.
They also made certain we recorded this with the
right
pitch
down
tracks.
the middle.
Yeah. Proof.
45 didn't have much on it, but that's all right.
Got it across the plate from the pitching rubber. Here's Sean Rodriguez. Pirates leading by a run. Rodriguez RBI single in the second. But just to finish up with Edso, who announced he was undergoing treatment for colon cancer recently. Great to hear that he sent the text to Doc saying he's feeling great.
He has been through the initial surgery, and the next step is to recover from that and then to go through treatment, which includes chemotherapy, and then go back and start working with Pat Foley in Chicago and with me on NBC and going back to work.
Oh, look forward to that.
So that's his process.
Great.
And he is at home right now and apparently is doping out some horses and watching us.
Tremendous. And he does such a great job with. I mean, I love watching him during the Triple Crown run for NBC, and obviously love watching you guys, Doc and Edso. Great team. And
well, there isn't anybody that has met him and been around him doesn't like him.
Yeah.
And that's why. And he appreciates the prayers and the great wishes that have come his way the last few days, ever since this became public. And he's a Cubs fan, and so he's very happy about the 4-game sweep of the Brewers that our guys did.
However, the Cubs have fallen on some tough times recently.
They have. I think there was a set in the suburbs of Chicago that just got turned off and back onto racing because you brought up the bad news.
As Mercer lifts this to right.
Yeah, they have. So it's going to be an interesting race down the stretch, and I'm just very happy about being this close to it.
Started the day
despite the chaos that we've had off and on. It's nice to be that close to it, and I'm not a big Brewers fan, so the 4 in a row was wonderful. MLB.tv, every night, every device. Watch every out-of-market regular season game live, plus get a free subscription to At Bat Premium, the #1 app for live baseball. Blackout and other restrictions apply. Visit MLB.tv for details. Sorry I missed a pitch, but it is TV.
Now, here we do. You've got just a few weeks off before you get back to work, and we're putting you to work.
It's fine.
Now that's actually work there. You had to. That was like you're doing a game when you have to read the promos like that.
You're supposed to get them in between pitches, though. So 0 for 1.
But
Greg,
like you said,
Greg doesn't either.
Yeah,
Don't worry about it.
They're used to that. But as you said, Doc, TV, and great that you're able to take in this one from Detroit. Watch your Pirates. And as you said, despite the chaos, it is going to be fun. The last almost 7 weeks of the season. See where the Pirates end up, because it's still in their hands because they play the division a whole heck of a lot.
The division hasn't been all bad news either.
We're getting toward the toward the end now, and you can't. Nice hit up the middle by Stewart, keep the inning going. You can't have any of those bad runs now from this point on, because it might not be time to recover. So no more road trips like we had out on the West Coast or anything like that. Got to keep at least playing 500 when you go on the road, and then
it's really why
do better at home.
Today's game is pretty important, and they need to win this game today.
3 out of 4, and just keep poking away and winning series. My thought was that when the Brewers series was over and you guys left town, Blas had things under pretty good control.
You were wrong. I thought you knew him better than that. And another base hit. So Chris Stewart singles and Starling Marte with a base hit.
Well, Blas did have things under control, but Wainer let it slip away.
Wainer's the one that messed it up. Blame your former skipper at fantasy camp, John Wainer.
He let it slide away.
Adam Frazier with Marte 2 for 3.
That is kind of a tough thing with John. Only doing the road games. doesn't get those good home series we have.
Well, that's the other thing too, by the way. The Pirates need to put a dent in that road record. 24-32. They're looking for their first win against an American League club on the road, having lost the first 6 against American League teams away from PNC Park. So
years ago, when I did my doctoral dissertation on baseball broadcasting, I spoke with Ernie Harwell, the legendary voice here, and I said, do you get more negative mail, because it was mail then, do you get more negative mail when the team's bad? And he said, you can follow it the night, the day.
Is that right?
Yeah. And on a year when the team is great, we all get complimentary letters, and when the team is not very good, there's the legend. What a wonderful human being.
And you get a chance to meet him and know him, didn't you?
Yes.
And
an influential person in my life.
Pitch just off of McCann's mitt.
A very devout human being, and just a wonderful guy to be around, and a very giving soul. He spent a lot of time with me because I was working on a college degree, very important paper. I imagine he did it for 200 or 300 other guys.
Sounds like you.
Yeah, well, no, but I'm sure he did that and gave his time like that because that was the kind of person he was.
Well, that's what you're supposed to do. That goes from generation to generation.
Doc, I read somewhere where you spoke, I think it was maybe a commencement address somewhere recently in the last few weeks, and you gave out your email address.
Oh yeah, I do that sometimes. Yeah, I encourage young broadcasters to send me their work. I'd like, because people did that for me. I don't know how they got through it, but they did. I mean, they gave me an opinion, and that's what I wanted, and so that's what I did. I get these CDs and DVDs every August, and this is the month I go through them, and then I respond and listen to them. And they're mostly hockey because I know hockey a little better than the other sports, and so I respond to them and send them back.
That's fantastic.
HKYDOX@earthlink.net.
That's unbelievable. That's unbelievable.
There you have it.
But I only do it in August, so you'll have to hurry. But I do. And the standard of work is really good. I have one from John Walton, who now does the Washington Capitals. I have another one from the guy who now does the Edmonton Oilers.
How about that?
I save him.
How about this, Doc?
I think it's terrific.
Adam Frazier, you know that's terrific. 3-1 pitch, 2 outs. How big is that? A 2-run double. Huge. And a 6-3 Pirates lead.
No, Greg, that's one of those situations that, you know, I like to talk about that wins ball games. When you have an opportunity at this point of the game where you have a small lead, but now you can really do some damage. You got to get that big hit. They did it in last night's game, the triple. Castellanos hit with the bases loaded. That basically.
That's right.
Yeah, that did it. The game was theirs from that point on, and that's a big hit there by Frazier.
Yeah, that knocks out Verhagen. The Pirates leading 6-3. here in Detroit. Final game of this home-and-home series. And that is it for Drew Verhagen. His second straight start. And Adam Frazier with a triple and a 2-run double. So far, Andrew McCutchen will be coming to the plate against Ork Saupold. Enters the game to the tunes of the Men at Work hit Down Under, because he is from Australia. Ork Saupold, saw him at PNC Park on Tuesday. Pitched 2 scoreless. And he has pitched well. McCutchen a walk and a ground out.
I'm so happy for him.
He's back.
You know, we've talked about this, Doc, that, you know, not to overplay it here, but
now you can do it for me all you want.
I mean, it's hard to think of a guy, certainly in our broadcasting careers, Bob and I have talked about this, that was just so below his standards last year, most of the season, and the first couple months of this season, and flip the switch and bang, he's back to his MVP form.
When you see you know, guys scuffling, I think what happens more often than not is what happened to him last year, where yeah, he gets it back together, but it's still not quite like you used to see, and it happens very late in the season, and then, you know, now there's question marks going into the winter. But this was just incredible over about a week period. You know, he got a couple of days off in Atlanta, and then a lot of extra batting practice on the field, and then he just took off and was back to MVP form.
Magnificent, yeah.
Pirates leading 6-3.
It's time for the Toyota all-wheel drive RAV4 inning. Toyota, what drives you?
We're back here in Detroit, and Adam Frazier, a couple of big hits, including the one that knocked out the starting pitcher, the 2-run double. The Bucks in front 6-3. John Jaso chatting with Ben Potenziano, the assistant trainer for the Pirates. And Garrett Cole faces Victor Martinez to start this bottom of the 4th. Got him to pop up in the first inning. 6, 7, 8 men in the order for the Tigers. He scored 2 in the first, and Mikey Matuk homered last inning. You really would like to see Cole have a second inning like he had in the second. Point Park University tweets, we always get a great positive reaction when we have the great Hall of Famer Doc Emmerich in the booth with us. Yes, I do. That is true. I do get giddy. Guilty as charged.
You guys are always kind to invite me there. One of my...
Oh, Matt McConnell, the Coyotes broadcaster.
Well, speaking of good old hockey guys.
V-Mart base hit. Speaking of hockey guys, I know you know the new play-by-play man. He's not new to Penguin fans, but Steve Mears.
Steve, no. Yes, since his earlier days, and his first life is with the Islanders, and then with the NHL Network, and of course, we sometimes are elated and sometimes lament the team down beneath us here, because he and I are both fans of them. But Steve's a wonderful guy. He'll be a hard-working guy and a credible guy for the Root broadcast. And I'm so glad that I still get to see Steige around the rink, because you never want to see old friends not around.
Yeah.
It's good to see them around too. So it'll be another fun year, and who's to say that these guys are not going to do what they've done before? Because you look over the competition, and why aren't they capable of another? Nice run down there.
Yeah, I'll say. We'll look forward to watching Steve and Bob Airy back on AT&T Sportsnet. And as Doc said, good that Steige still around. And we also get to hear on the radio side, of course, our good buddy Mike Lang. And it should be another good year, right? No reason to think they could have a good run again.
No reason to think, because they still have the best player in the game. He just turned 30.
Yeah. How's he going to do it?
Well,
and he's a strike thrower.
Yeah, that's right. Back-to-back MVPs and MVP of the World Cup. The last 3 times there's been... Nice.
This should be 2. Can we bug you to stick around for one more half inning?
Sure, yeah. As long as
the air.
You guys can take it.
That was too quick right there. Good for Cole, though.
Yes.
Hooray for Steve Mears. Highlights, and since it's the Pirates, I guess Detroit's first. Go ahead.
The triple.
Well, I blew that.
By Nick Castellanos made it 2-1, but this is the one that you missed.
That was Gus Bell, David Russell, Gus Bell of the Reds that hit it. Did you pitch against him? Oh, okay. Well, I blew
I'm not blast now.
Sean Rodriguez, of course, got the Bucks another run, and then the home run by Mikey Montook. But the Pirates got that 2-run double from Adam Frazier, and here is
Forrest Burgess. I'm just drawing on anything.
The Pirates did have Gus Bell for a while. Veteran baseball fans might be aware of that. And I don't know if it's true, but the long-time rumor was, and it was published, that he wasn't happy that his family couldn't go on the road, and aired his grievance to the Pirates. Oh, what a catch there by Jose Iglesias. And the pop-up by Bell. Fabulous play by the slick fielding shortstop. Anyway,
what a great nugget. Did families travel at that time?
No.
Did they ever?
He wanted them to.
Oh. Did your family?
No, that was not allowed.
Much later.
I see.
They weren't allowed to even go. I mean, they weren't supposed to be on the road anywhere. You couldn't even. You weren't supposed to, on your own dime, fly them on separate flights. How about Iglesias?
Julio can sing really well too.
Yes. So David Freese will come up after Bell is robbed of his second hit. And Pirates had another Freese, right? Gene Freese.
Yes. August.
No relation.
It's an early Freese.
Yeah.
August.
No relation to David.
You're good. Oh, for any of you under 50, this is all foreign language to you. Yeah,
well, it's a little history lesson.
Sad we're living in the past. Okay.
It's good to know the baseball history, the Pirates history.
One of the 3 plays of the day was the one that I just casually tossed away there by Jose Iglesias. That was a wonderful play.
Was.
He is a tremendous defensive shortstop. He can do it.
Iglesias, the shortstop. Pirates have had 2 previous freezes, by the way. George and Gene. Back in the 50s and 60s, and there's ball 4 to David. Bring up Gregory Polanco. What do you think of the announcement yesterday by Major League Baseball, Doc, that players for a weekend are going to be allowed to choose their nicknames, what they put on the back of their uniforms?
I saw the posting of all the Pirates uniform. That's fun. If it's fun for people, that's great. And many of those are your creations, aren't they?
Well,
you won't say that. You won't say that.
Okay.
But I mean, a lot of them I first heard from you.
Well,
and some of them before the players adopted them, I think. But they are fascinating. I did get that posting yesterday.
And as you said, if it's fun, and you know, and they're going to debut those uniforms for that Little League game in Williamsport a week from this Sunday when the Pirates take on the Cardinals.
You know, back when
tribute to the Little League,
before the teams got so standardized in everything that they do as far as uniforms and stuff, there were a lot of teams that had nicknames on the back of their batting practice jerseys that they would play.
Well, didn't Vida Blue have Vida?
Yeah, I think he did.
Ichiro. Does he have Ichiro or Suzuki on his back?
Who was that flew out to Teak to end the game? The left-handed hitting third baseman for the Giants.
Darrell Evans.
Darrell Evans. He used to have Hoover because he was a very good fielding third baseman. He had Hoover on the back of, I know it was on the back of his warm-up jersey. I don't know about his game jersey or not.
Off the glove of Cabrera.
There's no Hoover.
And they're still going to get an out.
Now that's surprising that they were able to get the fleet Polanco.
Down that line he is.
Freese moves to second. Polanco wants them to check it, and they're going to. Pirates right away call for the challenge. And you can see Polanco off to a slow start initially. And when he saw an opportunity.
When he saw the ball bounce away, that he smelled a possible hit, turned it on.
Doc, what do you think of replay in baseball? You've had it in hockey for years.
I think in hockey, it's you know, even though our people have become a little more complaining about it,
right.
I think it has great use because it's more significant plays. I see baseball games held up more than I want to see them held up. They are doing it faster. It sure needs to be faster.
It's an example of how fast. Wow.
And he is. That's twice the first base umpire's been overruled.
That was way quicker than I expected.
Yeah, and the first one was pretty fast too.
Yeah.
So the guys in New York today are fast.
Yep, exactly.
Because they've got the call there fast.
So the call overturned, and it's first and second. And it goes as a base hit.
So where a lot of the slowness today comes, and I think this is a place that they need to look at to try and even improve it more. It's an ongoing thing. It's not the replays themselves. It's the waiting to see if the team wants to ask for a replay or not while they review it on their own back in the clubhouse.
We were discussing that earlier, Doc, with what play the second inning play of Sean Rodriguez being picked off, initially ruled safe, that the Tigers took what seemed like more than the 30 seconds that you're allotted before, to make the decision whether you're going to challenge or not. And Sean Rodriguez will pop up.
And I'm not even happy, really. I don't know what the answer is. Given my opinion on it before, but I'm not even happy with the 30 seconds. I don't like the game being held up for 30 seconds.
I agree.
A lot of times it's like you hold the game up for 30 seconds and you go, no, go ahead, play.
Yep.
We're not going to challenge. And everybody just stood there for a while for that.
Well, there's one more out to go, and my sayonara is coming up here, and my temptation is to ask Bob what he thinks of the designated hitter, but instead I'll just say.
I'll tell you this: when we get to Milwaukee,
yeah,
I'm gonna take a long shower because I'm gonna be awfully dirty after being here in Toronto.
This has been so good of you, and I thank you so much, and I hope I haven't offended anybody. It was a lot of fun.
Doc, it is an absolute treasure to have you as
I'm
a
just
Pirate
glad
fan.
we're ahead.
Yes, yes. Well, you brought us good luck.
So far.
Yeah.
Hey, the inning's still going right here. We got ducks on the pond.
Well, with Jordy up, I like her chances.
You make a deal with us, Doc, that if it starts to turn toward the Tigers, you get back in this booth.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because baseball people aren't superstitious at all.
Just like hockey.
Not at all.
Yeah.
No superstition at all around here.
If I get a text from Edzo that he is up big time on the races, I'll let you know.
Okay. Great having Doc with us. Jordy Mercer 0 for 2. 2 flyouts to right. I guess we might see you again sometime down the road when the pens open up, maybe, huh?
The usual assignment that I get is on banner raising night, and I haven't gotten my official assignment yet, probably in the next couple of weeks, so I sure hope so, because I love coming to Pittsburgh, and that's always a fun night.
They will get it. Doc,
thank you so much.
Thank you so much,
Doc.
Robert.
Absolutely our pleasure. Get us a win now.
You don't think the DH is ever going to change, huh?
No, I don't think
There
so.
you go. There you
who
go.
knows?
You
Who
started
knows?
something.
I'm leaving now.
Our thanks to Doc Emmerich.
AT&T Sportsnet is brought to you by the all-new Chevy Equinox and your Western PA Chevy dealers. And by Day Automotive. We're gonna make your day. Let's go, Bucks!
Such a kick having Doc Emmerich with us. Thanks again to the great Mike Doc Emmerich. And he is enjoying watching his Pirates lead 6-3. Garrett Cole heads out for the bottom of the 5th. Clean things up after giving up the leadoff hit in the 4th. Got Andrew Romine to bounce into the double play, so he'll face the number 9 man, Jose Iglesias. And Ian Kinsler and Mikey Matuk. And a strike on Iglesias.
Doc's pretty passionate about his Buccos, isn't he?
He is, really is. And he has season tickets to the games in Bradenton, March spring training games. He asks NBC to lighten up the load for him so he can see as many games as possible in March. He really did. He talks about, you know,
it's not a sub. He's at the ballpark in spring training more than Blasonite.
Don't say that. You don't give your secret away. What's wrong with you?
Oh, every time I go there, look, there's Doc.
Yeah, but he was talking about the late great Hall of Famer Ernie Harwell, the longtime voice of the Detroit Tigers, and what a great human being he was. As kind a person.
They really,
they're very similar.
I was just going to say, they remind me of each other a lot.
We got to know Ernie Harwell. Couldn't have been a nicer man, and they are very similar personalities. So kind and so good at their work. Obviously not what Cole wanted to do, lead off this inning with a walk. We invite you to get your tickets for the next fireworks night. That'll be game 2 of the 4-game series against the Cardinals, coming up 1 week from tomorrow. Game 2 of the series after the 7:05 games. Zambelli Fireworks light up the Pittsburgh skyline, presented by 84 Lumber. Plus, before the game, be sure to check out the block party on Federal Street. Go to pirates.com/fireworks. Get your tickets. 4 with the Cardinals, and then 4 with the Los Angeles Dodgers, the 8-game homestand that begins 1 week from today. 4 with St. Louis and 4 with LA, and boy, tailor-made. Whoops, and a nice pick.
Very good.
By Josh Bell on the other end as Sean Rodriguez handcuffed him with that ball in the dirt, and Josh Bell picked it.
Those are the things you love to see. I mean, almost as much as those, 420-foot home runs, is see that progress on defense, making plays like this one. That was a tester. Nice.
Watch Garrett Cole react to Josh Bell making that pick. And that just breeds confidence too, by the way.
Yeah, that's a great point. That what that does for Bell every time he comes up with a play like that, because he knows he gets scrutinized on his defense, and he scrutinizes himself on his defense. So that's great, and for a lot of reasons. And for Cole, after the leadoff walk, to be able to have that cleaned up real nice with a double play ball, and you're looking up at that pitch count. He needed that.
Gave up the home run last time to Matuk. The line as it stands is a little bit deceiving, because if you weren't with us at the start, Matuk, it was just a ground ball up the middle in the first inning. Cabrera did hit a good pitch from Cole, fastball 95, well in off the plate for a base hit, and then Castellanos hit a pop-up that hugged the right field line.
It actually hit the chalk line, that little pop fly that cleared the bases and went for a triple.
So those are the first 2 runs of the game against Cole. The Montauk home run was a line shot. So there's no doubt about that one. Other than that, weak contact. And sometimes no contact. That's number 5. And the Pirates leading 6-3.
Cast is presented by the authority of the Pittsburgh Pirates and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Pittsburgh Pirates.
6-3 ball game. Pirates lead it, head to the 6th inning. And Chris Stewart singled with 2 outs in the 4th. Starling Marte followed with a base hit, and then the Adam Frazier 2-run double knocked out the starter Drew Verhagen. Tries to surprise everybody with a bunt and pops it up. Foul.
If you get that third baseman play it deep enough, you don't have to be real fast to beat out a good bunt. So you just want to make sure it's either a good bunt or foul. Those are the 2 requirements. You don't want to make a bad bunt back toward the mound and be an easy out.
And Stewart lifts one to shallow left. Upton makes the play. Stewart is retired. Our Nissan road ahead. The Pirates heading to Toronto for more interleague baseball against the Blue Jays tomorrow night. Jameson Tyone against Marcus Stroman. Trevor Williams will start on Saturday afternoon. The Blue Jays haven't announced who will go for them. Chad Kuhl against former Pirate Jay Happ on Sunday. Our Nissan road ahead. Tyone and Kuhl seated next to each other. Marte tries to bunt and fouls it off. Trevor Williams having a really fine rookie year. It's fun to watch these pitchers, the Pirates in their rotation, the younger ones, Chad Kuhl, Trevor Williams in particular, and Jamison Tyone still quite young in terms of his experience.
We talk about him like he's been around 5 years, but he's just like the other guys in reality.
Yep. A rookie last year, didn't pitch a full season.
You know what's fun too is to see the camaraderie that the starting rotation has now. It's really a neat thing when you get those 5 guys all truly in their hearts pulling for each other every time they get out there. A lot of times at professional level you don't really truly get that. And there's so much competition for jobs, but that's not the case here. And I think it might start with that guy right there.
Yeah.
He really set the tone with going out, making sure guys watch each other's sidelines and that sort of thing to build that chemistry among the starters.
Ivan Nova.
And another thing too, like the chemistry in general in the clubhouse, winning builds that. Well, when you got 5 guys that are all pitching well, it's easy for them all to kind of come together. They're all doing their thing.
When you have a 5-man rotation, and the Pirates, by the way, have been really blessed in that they've only used 6 starters all year. You're going to win a lot of ball games when you have 5 solid starters. 2 outs. Adam Frazier will come to the plate. The Dick's Sporting Goods Pony League World Series comes to Washington, PA this week. This Sunday at Lou Hayes Pony Field. It's Pirates Day featuring the Pirate Parrot, Pirates alumni, giveaways, and more. Make sure to wear your Bucko gear for more chances to win. Go to PonyLeagueWorldSeries.org for more information. Frazier a triple and a run scored in the first. 2-run double. His last time up in support of Garrett Cole. Got his pitch count back in order recently, so we'll be able to go at least into the 6th. Talked about that with Doc. We talked about it early on the pregame about how important this game is. You don't want to oversell it, overdo it, because you've often said this, Bob, when you place those goals ahead of a ball game or a series and you don't come through, then what? But so far so good for the Pirates.
Don't want to paint yourself into a corner.
Yeah. Home and home series. Data motive this day in Pirates history. This day 1992. Bucks win their 11th straight game. Beat the Mets 4-2 in 16 innings. How about that? 16-inning game. Tim Wakefield started. Gave up just 3 hits, 1 run in his 8 innings of work. Denny Nagel, Bob Patterson, Stan Belinda, Steve Cook each pitched 2 innings of relief. That 92 Pirates team went on to win 96 games. 3rd consecutive National League Eastern Division title. That's when the Pirates resided in the East. Our 2 divisions.
That was kind of a neat year, I thought, for the Pirates, that they were able to win 96 games. I mean, that's a lot of games after losing the 20-game winner John Smiley and then Bonilla going to free agency. You took two huge pieces off your 91 team, and then still the next year, I mean, a lot of people thought, well, okay, they're done now, but still 96 wins that year. That was special. And you know, Wakefield coming up there at the end, the last couple months of that year, I don't know how many starts he had, but I'm going to say about a dozen starts. A huge boost at that time.
Bob Walk's club. Lloyd McClendon was on that team. Gene Lamont was on the coaching staff. Brad Ausmus right now between the two, watching their Tigers trying to do something against Garrett Cole. And Upton flies to right. Talking about Lloyd McClendon, well, he was legendary. 1971 Little League World Series. He got that nickname for an incredible performance for the Gary, Indiana Little League team. 5 home runs and 5 swings. Also drew 5 intentional walks.
Legendary Lloyd.
Oh, he even pitched in that series. Struck out 12 batters in 8 innings for the championship game.
You notice he was the biggest kid on the field.
Yes.
And he's the same height now as he was then. Lloyd, that 92 series, he had a great playoff series. Wakefield was in line to get the MVP if we would have, if Sid Bream hadn't made that slide. But
against the Braves, he was 8 for 11.
Yeah, I mean,
drove in 4 runs.
He had to get a lot of those MVP votes for what he did.
Walked 4 times in that series against the Braves.
Braves couldn't get him out hardly.
We mentioned earlier that it might be a good time to be getting out of Detroit because it appears as though Miguel Cabrera is getting his swing back. We also talked about it last night. He's been much better at home this season. Cabrera hitting .314 here in his home yard. But Garrett Cole up to the challenge, strikes him out looking. And Cole's got it going right now.
You know, another thing about Garrett that I don't think we ever point out enough is he's a horse out there. I mean, you never see any fatigue in him at all. I mean, his best fastball more often than not comes in his last couple innings. It doesn't matter from his pitch count, anything. I mean, he goes out there and goes hard all the time.
When you talk about pitch count, that's 85 for the game now through 6. Really has it in order, and he has it going. 6-3 Pittsburgh. That's Gabby Barrett, who will be our featured performer this week on Friday Night Rocks. Join us, the Bucks and Blue Jays, tomorrow night. More from Gabby and some of the best bands of the Burgh. Friday Night Rocks presented by IC Light. As Andrew McCutchen leads off. Has walked, bounced out, and struck out. Work Saupold. Got the last out of the 4th inning, striking out McCutchen.
You know, everything feels comfortable right now, but I would like to see us add on.
Yes.
Even if it's just 1 run, that's fine. Don't get comfortable here. Good part of the lineup coming up.
Drifting toward the seats. By the way, I misspoke just a few moments ago, and I apologize. Got some tweets and some texts from people. Hey, Brown, Gene Lamont was not on the Pirates coaching staff in 1992. He was managing the White Sox. So that is correct.
Managing them very well.
Yes.
In fact, I think he got American League Manager of the Year. And
yep. The following year, right?
One of those first couple of years he was up there. Or I guess we're in Detroit right now, so I'd be over there.
Get your geographical perspective in order. There's Gino. Great baseball man right there. Underrated because he's so understated. And Andrew McCutchen is going to be robbed of a hit by the quick Jose Iglesias. Allegheny Health Network injury update. Blue Jays yesterday transferred shortstop Troy Tulowitzki to the 60-day disabled list. Sprained his ankle running to first about 2 weeks ago. Still a possibility he could need surgery to repair some ligament damage. So Tulo is out, and that has been a frustrating situation for both the Rockies and the Blue Jays, and certainly for Troy Tulowitzki. Just seemingly is never able to put a full healthy year together.
You know, that's part of, I mean, Tulowitzki, it looked like early in his career could be like a Hall of Famer, but that's part about what guys need to do to get to the Hall of Fame, is they need to stay in that lineup every single day.
Well, Josh Bell, an example of that. He's been playing a whole lot for a rookie, and he has 2 more hits, and he had 2 hits last night of the 3 total for Pittsburgh. What a day for Josh Bell. He was robbed of a hit by Iglesias in the 5th. He almost pulled off another sensational grab.
Yeah, one thing that's been kind of lacking this year from Bell, what we kind of thought we were going to get because of the way he hit last year, was the batting average. I mean, the RBIs are there, the long balls are there, and now that batting average might be climbing up. Smart hitting. I like that smart, the hitting sign. It's a little stealthy. You got to kind of look for it and wait for it. It's kind of a humble thing too. It's like you're admitting that you didn't just rip the cover off the ball. Maybe that's why I like it as an ex-pitcher.
Well, Josh Bell, a soft single after the 2-run homer in the 3rd, a sacrifice fly in the 1st. Bell has played, by the way, in 114 of the 115 games played by the Pirates team. Only Joey Votto of the Reds has played more games than has Josh Bell in the National League. Edward Mujica getting ready. Southpole has thrown a lot of pitches, but he gets David Freese. Two down. Gregory Polanco will bat. Garrett Cole, steady as she goes. 6 innings of work, 3 runs. He has retired 9 of the last 11. But again, you'd love to add on here. Tigers took a 2-1 lead in the bottom of the first after the Adam Frazier triple and the Josh Bell sacrifice fly in the top half. Bucks tied it. Polanco doubled to start the second, and he would score on a Sean Rodriguez base hit. Then the Bell 2-run homer with 2 outs in the third gave the Pirates the lead. Mikey Mott took homered in the bottom of the third to make it a 1-run ball game. And the Adam Frazier 2-out 2-run double in the fourth. See if Polanco can put a good swing. We're talking about his swing in the third inning. To be more handsy. Got an infield hit in the fifth.
I think that first hit where he went down the left field line for the double, I think that was an example of not really using a lot of the body, but doing a good job with his hands. As if you're really exaggerated with that, your front side spinning and turning open real fast, it's going to be awfully tough to hit a ball down that line like that. Go spinning off the ball. You're going to have that right there happen to you. Now that's the same pitch he hit for the double. You know, he stayed on it, used his hands, drove it just inside the bag down that line pretty hard all the way to the corner. And this one he kind of spins off and just gets enough of it to foul it away. Up in the air like that, a little pop fly.
Three balls, 2 strikes now. The hardworking hitting coach, Jeff Branson.
Hitting coaches, they're, when it comes to putting in the time,
Jeff Livesey, his assistant.
they live in those batting cages.
He'll be off on this 3-2 pitch. And a rip toward right, but it is a foul ball.
Would have been a run. Boy, just right down the middle. Throw him another one of those.
This is a 50th pitch for Southpole. 2 other times this season he's thrown as many as 55. And to left, and Upton for the final out. 6-3 Pittsburgh. into the bottom of the 7th. Bucco fans on hand. Put the whammy on the Tigers. You're out. Get out.
Give him the whammy back, didn't he?
Working on the Italian ice.
Much more important than a whammy.
Victor Martinez has one of the 6 hits against Cole. It was a leadoff base hit in the 4th. See out in shallow right field, Sean Rodriguez. Jordy Mercer swung over on the right side. And it's hit to center.
That's where you want him. That's exactly where you want him to hit it. One of the biggest center fields in baseball.
Second put out for Marte. He wanted to make it a little more difficult, but that was too easy for him. Point Park University tweet from Detroit, from Connor, and from Carl on the road with the Bucks. David. Hoping to see a Pirate win.
Not a bad road trip up here. Was it
about 5
hours?
Look out. That bat goes sailing toward the seats, and a safe call at first base as Sean Rodriguez tries to barehand it to lob it to Bell.
Look, we need to go a glove to glove on that one.
Bat landed that way. We'll see if the Pirates challenge this, and they are going to challenge it right away. There goes the bat. Sean Rod, a quick toss to Bell. Did they get McCann?
I think they did. So I thought he was going to go just glove to glove, but he took the time to take it out, put it in his throwing hand.
Oh, my gosh.
He's out easy.
Not even close. Great look on the Allegheny Health Network Supermo. That's why he didn't go glove to glove. He got him out easily.
Yeah, there was no need to do that. Here's one other thing. Was Bell's foot on the bag? Now, it was a safe call. There wasn't a safe, he was off the bag type call.
He's out.
He's out, yep.
His toe is on. But that is the 3rd challenge at first base for the crew chief, Larry Vanover. No, I'm sorry, it's the 4th.
4th, yeah.
Because Rodriguez,
well, this is where
picked off at first.
I think it all started. It was at this first base bag.
Yeah.
Years ago.
Galarraga.
Years ago. That's where this whole mess started, right there. At that bag.
Jim Joyce, the first base umpire. Galarraga, the pitcher for the Tigers, flirting with the perfect game. Bang bang play at first base. It would have been the last out. Joyce called the runner safe, ending the perfect game, a no-hit bid. And Garrett Cole continues to roll on the Cole train here in Detroit. 6-3 Pirates.
is brought to Pirates Baseball on AT&T Sportsnet is brought to you by Barrel. Visit Barrel.com to learn more about our 3 conveniently located collision centers. And by Levin's, the official furniture and mattress supplier to the Pittsburgh Pirates. For the best quality, service, and value, shop Levin's. Let's go Bucks!
6-3 ball game as Sean Rodriguez will be leading off the 8th. Goal came off after throwing his 95th pitch. We don't see a hug or a handshake from Clint Hurdle. That's usually an indication.
Yeah, there was just
he's
like
done, but that doesn't seem to be.
Like
maybe just checking you okay. You feel good.
I don't know. Yeah, that could have been the question. Like, I'm going to let you go one more. But I don't know. He could have been telling him he was done also, because you could see behind him there. That was Clint going right to the bullpen phone after he talked to him. So I don't know.
Yeah,
we'll see.
Have to see. It's exactly right, because it's very possible he gets the bullpen up just.
But normally we see all the hugs and everything when somebody comes out of the game with the lead.
One of the first to greet him.
So I'm not sure. We'll have to wait 3 outs to see what's going on.
Edward Mujica takes over for Saupold. Saupold did a nice job. 3 1/3.
Yeah, he did.
1 hit or 2 hits. He looked impressive. The 2 games he's pitched against Pittsburgh. The man from down under. Sean Rodriguez lifts one to deep left field, and Serpico hits a home run. Sean Rodriguez hits his 4th of the season, his 2nd as a Pirate, and it opens up a 7-3 lead. He's had now 13 at-bats, 4 hits, 2 of them homers.
Can do so many things for you. And this is just one of them. He'll got a lot more pop in his bat than a lot of guys give him credit for. We have seen that.
(7-3) Pirates. Sean Rod, 2nd hit of the game, RBI single in the 2nd.
Gives you defense wherever you want to put him out on the field, and you know, something that I think we've really got a better feel of even now that he's come back, and we saw the reception that he got from his ex-teammates. Is he's a difference maker in that clubhouse as far as attitude.
There have really been some amazing stories this year. This is what, you know, when you think about it this year, some of the stories. Gifton Gope, first guy from Africa.
Yeah.
Dovydas Neverauskas, of course. First
Jameson.
from Lithuania. Jameson Taillon, no question about that. Overcoming the testicular cancer surgery, missing 5 weeks. Josh Bell emerging as an outstanding, well, would be a Rookie of the Year candidate. Still will be, but Cody Bellinger, we talked about that earlier. It's out of this world, but Bell having one of the finest rookie campaigns in recent Pirates memory.
The stability we've had in our starting rotation.
Yeah,
that's the last time we've had this few starters. Yeah. Only 6 so far. Am I correct?
Mm-hmm.
That doesn't happen.
Andrew McCutchen, the turnaround.
Right.
Maybe start with that story. And here comes Sean Rodriguez. Ball and a strike on Chris Stewart. Again, the Cubs do not play tonight, so the Pirates with a win can get to within 3. The Cardinals and the Brewers will complete their home and home series against American League clubs, the Cardinals and Royals, the Brewers and Twins. Cardinals and Brewers a game and a half back of the Cubs. Could be a wild ride. Yeah, the bullpen quiet. A nice little play there by Cabrera. Stewart tried to shoot one past him.
One hot backhand. Hit it too hard.
Cole going to go back out there for the 8th. His dad made the trip from California. Mark Cole is here along with other family members. Mentioned that earlier, that he's got ties to the Detroit area. Holidays spent in Michigan as a kid. And he is trying to deliver another strong performance. Well, he has. Trying to pick up a W. It'll be his 10th win of the season. And get the Pirates an important series win over the Tigers. Getting ready to head to Toronto.
And we're going to face at least 2 pretty good pitchers when we get to Toronto. It won't be an easy series. Never is an easy series, but they're going to be throwing, as I said, at least 2 quality guys at us.
Stroman tomorrow night, Happ on Sunday, and then on to Milwaukee for 2. 1 week from today, the Pirates back home for a big 4-game series showdown against the Cardinals. And then we'll see how they match up against the best of the best, the Dodgers, for 4. Mujica gives up the leadoff home run to Rodriguez. It's 2 ground balls, and now has gone 3-2 on Marte, who has 2 hits. Doubled and scored in the 3rd, singled and scored in the 4th. Adam Frazier has delivered 2 big hits. Again tomorrow, Pirates and the Blue Jays. Jamison Tyone starts for the Bucks against Jays ace Marcus Stroman. Coverage on AT DET Sportsnet begins at 6:30 with Pirates pregame presented by WB Mason. Got him. Head to the bottom of the 8th. Sean Rodriguez, 2nd home run in a week. 7-3 Pirates. Bucks lead the Tigers. Garrett Cole trying to complete at least 8 innings, but any trouble whatsoever, we'll see Juan Nicasio. Sean Rodriguez, how impressive has he been? His 3rd start in 5 days today at second. On Monday he started at short. Of course, that was the day after he won the game against the Padres. You look at the Point Park University tweets about Serpico, his return. Tuesday he started in right field. And the bouncer to Mercer begins the inning with a ground out, does Cole. Back to the top of the order. Cole has retired now 11 of the last 13 batters.
And he's doing so now just in a very easy, quick fashion. He's getting a lot of quick outs, which is the reason he's out there in the 8th inning. Oh, but look at how many pitches he threw in those first 3 innings. You wouldn't have thought he'd still be out there in the 8th. But he's pitched well. And as you pointed out, that first inning where he gave up 2 runs could have been much different. There's some bad luck that got him in trouble there and got the 2 runs home.
And when you take that into account and you look at the weak contact for almost the entirety of this ball game, this is ranking up as one of his best for Garrett Cole.
And this is not the big hitting teams that the Tigers had a few years ago, but as we saw last night, they can still put runs up. So here in their ballpark.
I think this is kind of what we discussed, without disrespecting teams like the Padres and Giants, clubs the Pirates have played recently, that you would think you would want to attack a lineup like that. Throw a bunch of strikes. And that's what Cole has done. Another broken bat.
Lawn darts.
2 straight retired here, 12 of the last 14 by Cole. Just reached the 100 pitch mark. 3 starts back in 6 innings against the Giants. His season high 115 pitches. So now the question becomes, which everybody's thinking right now, he gets a quick out here of Matuk. Does he even have a chance to go 9?
My guess is no. I mean, he's got a 4-run lead. I would think that.
Oh, nice stop again by Bell. Well, Josh Bell doing it all this afternoon with the bat and the glove. Another 1-2-3 inning. 7-3 Pirates.
Garrett Cole is done for the afternoon, but it was a fine afternoon. He had everything going for him. And as usual, when it comes down to Garrett, it's not just that great arm he's got, but the location, the strike throwing. I mean, Doc Emmerich pointed that out when he sat down with us, that one of the reasons he loves Cole is because he goes out there and throws a ton of strikes all the time. And he did that again this afternoon, and that's really what kind of saved him and allowed him to go 8 innings is all the strikes he was throwing allowed him to really get that pitch count back into shape and have just 100 pitches through 8 innings. So excellent day for Garrett Cole. 102 to be exact.
His longest outing since a complete game against the Mariners, July 27th, 2016. His lone complete game of his career last year against the Mariners. Bruce Rondon to Frazier. Mujica goes 1, gives up the home run to Sean Rodriguez. Frazier tripled and scored in the first, a 2-run double in the fourth.
That was a very important part of this ball game, that 2-run double. At that point, things are kind of up in the air. What was it, 4-3 when he hit it?
And 2 outs.
Yep.
He had the starter Verhagen on the ropes a bit and delivered the knockout punch. So Frazier knocked out Verhagen. And he's going to pick up another knock.
What's he hit now since the All-Star break? About 500?
Well, certainly over 400. Triple, double, single for Frazier today. Just a reminder, as you enjoy a cold one, to look forward to Miller time later in the game. Brought to you by Miller Lite.
Get a picture if you want.
There's a pitcher.
Yep.
8 fantastic innings for Garrett Cole. McCutchen chops one to third. They get the force at second. McCutchen reached base in the first on a walk, but since then a ground out, a strikeout, a line out, and a force play. Here he is. All around fantastic game today for Bell. 2 hits, a sacrifice fly. One of the hits, a 2-run homer. That came in the 3rd inning. Score was tied at 2 at the time with 2 outs. Ball and a strike. Cole finishes having retired 11 in a row and 13 of the last 15.
There they are already chatting up the game.
Castellanos way up there. So now the Pirates will rely on the bullpen to get the last 3 outs. Joaquin Benoit, one-time Tiger, their number 53, and Juan Nicasio. You would think that Nicasio is up because he's coming in the 9th. If the Pirates score a run, we'll see Benoit.
And Nicasio wouldn't be just throwing to get some work in. Benoit hasn't been out there in a while, has he?
Mm-mm.
So he may just be getting a side that's a reliever's form of a sideline. You get up and you try to do a little bit of throwing late in the game when it doesn't look like you're going to be used.
Bonus strike on David Freese. Freese reached on an infield single in the third. The Tigers challenged. It was their second challenge of the game. But the call stood. Pretty remarkable. 4 challenges at first base today. Hard hit. And almost picked off Rondon. But it's the final out of the 9th, and the Pirates look for 3 outs in the bottom half. Get Garrett Cole a W. Get the Pirates a series win. Get to within 3 of the Cubs. Happy. About an hour north of Detroit and Grand Blanc. One of the many Browns that we see throughout the course of our travels. Brother Frank watching his Buccos lead 7-3.
Browns everywhere.
And updated standings, hoping for 3 more outs to get the Pirates to within 3 of the Cubs. Again, the Cardinals and Brewers play tonight. Clint Hurdle, there's Todd Tomczyk, Pirates trainer.
Cubs off tonight?
Cubs are off tonight. They play the Diamondbacks tomorrow in Phoenix.
Well, they should get snake bit there.
Juan Nicasio, not a save situation, but he did come in the other day in a save situation and determined there's not going to be a repeat of the one he had earlier this year. A 1-2-3 9th against these Tigers on Monday. And a strike on Justin Upton.
Rivera warming up as we speak. Nicasio might be on a short leash.
Felipe Rivera. And into left, a base hit. Well, one more base runner, and we will see Rivera undoubtedly.
right where the glove was.
Upton's second hit.
It's always a little nervous inning when you pitch a record. You're watching that ninth.
He did his part. Well, he can only watch. Encourage.
A nice slider by Nicasio.
Miguel Cabrera singled in the first and scored.
Out in front of that one a little bit.
One ball, two strikes. Still out in front of Miguel Cabrera. 1-2. And the dugout scrambling a bit.
They're all together, talking it over.
4/5 of the rotation and the fifth.
He's nervous. He's sitting back. Nice dugouts they have here. I don't know why I bring that up now, but I guess because of that shot right there. They are very spacious. And most of the guys sitting back in the shade. You don't see that very often nowadays. Guys actually sitting in the dugout bench.
Jose Osuna, the only non-pitcher there along the railing. Cabrera 3 for 12 in this home-and-home series. Nick Castellanos had the 5 RBI night last night and a 2-run triple in the first inning today on deck. Up toward right center, and McCutchen, nice running catch. Or Marte rather, Starling Marte. Into the gap in right center.
Pretty important out, would you say?
Yeah.
I mean, if this one falls in, you don't, it's still 7-3, but you don't want to start.
You use your closer then.
You don't want to start this inning.
You'd rather not use your closer at all, wouldn't you? Or,
yeah, you don't. I mean, there's no rule that says you have to bring him in at that point, but I mean, it's still 7-3. But it's just you get a couple of guys on with nobody out, you start thinking, well, don't let them get any momentum.
Yeah. Marte runs it down, and now Castellanos. Just a couple of at-bats against Nicasio for the third baseman, Castellanos. There's Andrew McCutchen DHing today for the first time in a couple of years. So Starling Marte out in center. Couple of big RBI totals for Castellanos. 2 games, 7 ribbies. Ocasio doesn't get a ton of ground balls, but take one here.
Castellanos likes to try and hit the ball the other direction. I don't like that hole over there on that side.
Because of that, Bob, is it an option not to hold the man in a 4-run game?
You know, I don't think so with 1 out. With 2 outs, yeah, I'd back off. But you don't want to just let the guy go. You want to keep the double play in order. But as from a pitching standpoint, might be trying to throw things that run down and in, stuff that's hard to hit on the ground that way.
Castellanos has hit into 9, so it's not like he's an impossible guy to double up. I think it'd be interesting for that discussion if you have a guy like who's a flame, to say it's like a Rivero, and you have a guy at the plate who's not a double play threat, who has very few, maybe a speedy guy. But again, he's hit into 9. It's a fair amount.
Those kind of discussions used to take place all the time. I don't know if they do anymore though, because the
sabermetrics.
Yeah, there's probably an answer to that question sitting somewhere, or at least a computer is going to calculate some kind of odds for you.
Castellanos has struck out a bunch this year too, but just gets enough wood on it to drop it into center.
Never did try to throw the ball in the inside half one time even. All of those pitches are outside from the middle away, middle away, middle away. I mean, look at them all. And he eventually did poke one out there that way.
That's going to be it. We are going to see Felipe Rivero because it has become a save situation. Clint Hurdle will go to the closer. On Garrett Cole now along the railing to watch Felipe Rivero try and pick up the save. He had a 1-2-3 ninth inning on Tuesday at PNC Park for his 10th save of the year.
Well, the reason it is a save situation is, even though the score doesn't reflect it, there is a runner in the on-deck circle that is now representing the tying run. Am I correct there, Greg?
Yep. And Rivera will face Victor Martinez, who will turn around and bat right-handed. Better average from this side of the plate. Close to 40 points better as a righty hitter. Oh. 99 riding in on you.
Could have just took it for the team, you know?
Yeah.
Hurts for a second. It's like going and getting a shot. Like a flu shot.
There's 100. I mean, that fastball it was only 99. It wasn't 100, 101.
Yeah. It's like getting a flu shot. It's like a pinch. That's what they always tell you. You're going to feel a pinch. That's, you just, you know, you get a pinch, you go to first.
Mm-hmm. Ripped to left. Fair ball. Upton scores. Castellanos to third, and now the tying run will come to the plate.
Got turned on. All right. Nothing to panic about. It's like you got a 1-run lead and there's 1 out and nobody on. You'd feel pretty good about that, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, well, that's how I feel right now. Got to get 2 more outs is all.
Garrett Cole reacted to this RBI double. Now 2 strikes on James McCann. Tigers catcher. And to Sean Rodriguez, the runner will score, but that's the important part right there, the second out. 7-5 game.
Now you got 2 outs. Nobody on, 1-run lead. We're an out away from the game being over.
Now Rivera faces a pinch hitter, John Hicks, to bat for Andrew Romine. Rookie Hicks, 28 games, 80 at bats. 2 for 7 off the bench. One ball, one strike. One more out.
We got this. Remember, no hair balls.
That's right.
They're not coughing this up. Oh, beautiful changeup.
1-2. One more to get to within 3 games of the Chicago Cubs in the Central. And that is it. Raise the Jolly Roger. Win the series within 3 of the Cubbies. Felipe Rivero, his 11th save. Josh Bell contributing with a 3 RBI day. It is 20th home run of the year.